So Songs for Seven Fingers is the record that I'm working on now. I've been working on it. I started writing parts of it when I was in LA. It's definitely a darker record. It's definitely like kind of getting to that zeroing point again. There's a lot of stuff about like the damage to my hand, and the title comes from the fact that I can only play essentially with seven fingers at this point. But the record's written a lot about sort of my last days in LA, living there, and just the time period being back here. Kind of hitting bottom and rebuilding, and coming out of it, I guess. Coming out of a haze of alcoholism and self despair and all that lovely stuff that you do when stuff falls apart. Um, but it's good in a weird way. It's a really positive thing to work on for me. Where at the beginning of it, it was a bunch of broken shit, including me, um, and just piecing it all back together. This is an abandoned building that had no running water, had to install a bathroom to be able to live here. I was living on a deflated air mattress in the main room with a sleeping bag. That's all I had, and then just built it from there. It's kind of everything that I could salvage out of my life in a space. It's stuff. It's like, I had a life in Boston. I went to Berkeley. I had friends there. I don't know what happened to any of them. I had a life in LA. I had a life in Portland. And that stuff, for whatever reason, you know, it sort of dried up, and I was left with things, pieces of gear, or songs, or whatever it may be, stuff, but not of the human variety. There's a lot of memories in here. There's a lot of ghosts, and I have memories of people attached to all of these things. I have memories of parts of my life attached to all of these things. What I found is when people are in here, when bands are in here, it's really enjoyable because all this stuff is meaningless, absolutely meaningless when you don't have people to share it with. I know that. I see the bits of my life that like I've salvaged and kind of put into this space, because otherwise it's just stuff, and that can be really lonely. Like if you don't share it, it really is just a pile of shit, and you very quickly lose interest in it. Yeah, I don't know.